Is there even such a thing as presenter block? Because if there is, I think I've got it. I'm trying to do this perfect opening link where I'm gonna like come up with this amazing analogy to link this beautiful long road to the motor industry. It's just not coming to me, but I think I finally got it. Here it is. The road to the top in the motor industry is long. And for a brand like Chery, as you can see, they're not quite at the top of the road yet. But with the J3, they're hoping to get a little bit further up the road. Look, none of us are foolish enough to deny the fact that the Chinese motor industry is going to become a global player. Sure, they do massive volumes purely because of the size of the Chinese market, but it's obviously exporting cars to Europe and countries like South Africa that is the next big challenge for them. And I think their hurdle has always been quality. Now, back in 2009, Chery was saying that they're wanting to release 25 models over the next 5 years. The good news is they've re-looked that whole thing and realized it's not about getting more models out there. It's actually about improving the build quality of the vehicles, and that's going to really improve Chery's profile and their brand. So what they've done, they've spent 1.47 billion Rand on a research and development center. And let me tell you, it's starting to pay dividends. The last Chery we were in was probably the J1. We drove the Tiggo as well. Massive improvement. And I'm not even talking about the looks, just for me, getting inside the car, the fit and finish is a lot better. Yes, hard plastics, of course, it's what you're going to expect, but it's just a lot better put together. It's way more solid. You don't have squeaks and rattles, and they've even come up with a couple of really cool little design elements. Really do enjoy it. The car obviously is always going to be really well spec'd, and I think that is where the key to Chery and all the Chinese manufacturers are, that it's a value proposition. So, you know, you're getting your leather seats, which are really nice. You get your aircon, you get your electric windows. Safety is very important too. It comes with 6 airbags, got ABS, it's got some form of a stability control system as well. And in China, they've actually got a 5-star Chinese NCAP rating, and it looks like they're probably going to come pretty close in the Australian market as well with the J3. These are good things. When you're buying the car, you now feel that it's actually well put together, it's solid, and very importantly, it is safe as well. In terms of the engine, it's running a 1.6 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine, only comes in a manual, 5-speed manual as well. Figures, 87 kilowatts, 149 newton meters of torque, all pretty good on paper. It feels a little bit starved. It feels like it's a little bit under that, but driving on the highways and cruising around Joburg, it does what it needs to do fairly well. There's no complaints here at all. It is no robot racer, but that's never what these cars really are. From an external styling perspective, I really love the rear end. It's a very interesting looking car. They've even gone with a bit of Alfa Romeo design detail on the rear window with the door handles being hidden. We've heard that Pininfarina Design Studio was responsible for the looks. I'd like to think they probably were responsible for designing the rear end of the J3 and probably left the front end to the Chinese, because that's kind of a very old, boring 80s styling in the front end of the car. From a drive perspective, very comfortable, not excessive wallowing. It really is a nice car just to get around town in. There are a couple of things that they still need to obviously work on, and that will improve over time. And for me, it literally is just the feel of the steering. It's very, very light, which isn't a bad thing around town, but it's also vague. So you've got a lot of steering play when you're driving without much response in terms of where the vehicle's going. But that'll improve over time as well. But all in all, I'm very impressed. The Chinese certainly are on the up and up. For us, we've always spoken about GWM as leading the race, but Chery certainly is putting up a strong claim here in terms of that top spot. We don't know what this car is priced at. That's the only negative thing about this insert, because when we did the GWM C10, we thought it was a little bit excessively priced, that it kind of wasn't the value proposition anymore. That would be the only thing that Chery could get wrong here in South Africa, is overpricing this car, because they still need to get people into the car, and the only way they're going to do it is a value proposition buy. So I wasn't a fan of the Chery J1 when we tested that, and I wasn't expecting much of the J3, but it actually is quite incredible just how much Chery as a brand has improved, and clearly that investment in research and development is paying off. This is a good, solid, dependable car. No fancy bells and whistles, it's cheap and cheerful, but it gets the job done. Chery is certainly on the right road.